What is going on, guys? Brewer here, back again with another video, and today we're just going to be covering how to get your TikTok ads to actually spend, because I know a lot of people, especially in my comment sections and in my DMs, are saying that their ads aren't spending and what they should do next. So I figured I would answer all your questions all at once, just in a video, just kind of tell you what I do in this type of situation, because it is an issue that we run into, not too often, but when you do run into it, it's a little bit annoying because obviously you want your ads to spend. Now, before we get into that, I do want to say that the launch for the TikTok product testing agency, where we give you products, build your store, run your TikTok ads, and scale them for you once a winner is found, went really well. We got a bunch of new clients, and I'm going to be working really hard to bring you guys as many winning products as possible over the next couple weeks. I do want to say, even though the launch is over, you are still able to join. So if you are interested, there will be a link in the description to schedule a call with one of my team members, and there will also be some information on that schedule call page as well if you want to get to know what it is, what we offer, etc. But I would highly encourage you, just schedule a call, see what we can do, see if it's a good fit, because if it is a good fit, we may be able to find you a winning product. So this video is going to be fairly quick because there's not too much to cover here, but I am going to kind of run you through like what my process is when I launch a campaign and it doesn't end up spending. How do you deviate from it? How do you fix it? And what's the point where you just say screw it and move on? Is there even a point? Whatever. So I want to cover for a minute why TikTok doesn't spend all the time. So obviously it's a little bit of a mystery, but I have some good ideas here. Now, if you know anything about my TikTok product testing method, I've talked about it numerous times on this channel and in a bunch of my previous videos. Essentially, we're using manual bidding. Now, the main reason for this is because when we started testing with TikTok ads, manual bidding was all that you could do. So usually what we would do is set a budget for $20 and we would set our bid to $19.99. Now, I don't believe that the bid has anything to do with the results that you get. It more has to do with how your ads spend. So when we started out, when we were building our methods at the time, the lowest cost option was not an option at all. And that's actually a pretty new thing that they just implemented in the past few weeks. So we're still testing with lowest cost. It works pretty good. We'll get into it in a minute. But I think one of the primary reasons that the ads are not spending is because a $19.99 bid is simply just not high enough for some audiences. Now, there's a lot of different reasons for this, whether it's ad space or competition or the specific product that you're testing. I'm not going to get too deep into it, but essentially, if you're doing manual bidding like we do, then you most likely are encountering spend issues, and we're going to talk about in this video how you can kind of get over those spend issues and potentially even just move on from products if they don't spend properly. Another reason is it's a fairly new ad platform. I think they haven't fully figured out their ad disbursement yet, whereas with Facebook, you're pretty much guaranteed to spend money at all times, especially if you're doing lowest cost or auto bidding, then you're pretty much guaranteed to spend your money. I think that this is just because of their algorithms, their ad placements. They have it figured out really well to where, they can just place ads a lot better than TikTok can. They have a lot more different, placements and stuff like this. So keep that in mind as well, that sometimes the issue goes beyond your bid, it goes beyond your product, it goes beyond all these things, and it could just be an issue with TikTok itself, and we'll talk about what to do with this situation as well. And I've also speculated some type of ad shadow ban, where if you're running a specific advertisement, it just won't spend for the simple reason that it's been shadow banned. I don't really know what this means or if it's true or if it's false, but I've kind of seen this pattern where, if you initially launch a product and it doesn't spend, you'll have many issues to get that product to spend. And no matter what you try, it just won't spend no matter what you do. So this is what has led me to kind of speculate to think maybe some products, maybe some ads just don't spend for whatever reason. Maybe it was flagged on the back end and they're just not telling you. Maybe it was disapproved and they're just not showing it in the interface. Whatever reason it is, I'm not going to get too into it because obviously it's just speculation, but this is why we simply move on when we can't get a product to spend by a certain point. So there is a certain process that I go through when I launch a campaign and it doesn't spend, the types of things that I try to do to mediate the issue and actually get the campaigns to spend. So I'll tell you kind of in order what I would do and how you should move on from there. So the number one thing that I would probably recommend doing is literally just recreating the campaign, turn the one off that's not spending and just duplicate it, keep everything the same. Make sure that you schedule it if scheduling is something that you're doing, and just let it run again. This has solved the issue many times. I don't know why, but sometimes the campaign just won't spend, and just duplicating it and kind of refreshing it, putting it through the application process with the ad or the review process, just gets it to start spending again. So this is probably the first thing that I would try, and obviously this doesn't take much time. It'd take like a day. You could just duplicate it or turn it off, duplicate it, let it spend, see if it spends or if you have the same issue. If you do have the same issue, probably the next thing I would test is the lowest cost bid option. Now, like I said, I initially want to start with manual bidding because, like I said, that's what we've been doing and that's what I've proven out to work. But lowest cost also works. I've seen people pop a few different winning products with lowest cost, so it's not like it doesn't work. But what this is going to allow you to do is it's going to allow you to see if bidding was the issue in the first place. So if you duplicate the campaign, put it on lowest cost, and your ads still don't spend, then that's going to tell you that your bid was not the problem. And if it does spend, then it's likely that your bid was the problem. Now, the issue with TikTok is you can only make your bid up to your daily budget. So the only way to increase your bid and get your ads to spend is to increase your daily budget by a lot, which that's not the ideal solution because we have a strategy, we have like a set amount of money that we want to spend per test. So, if we wanted to increase our bids to $50 to get the ads to spend, then we'd have to set our daily budget for every single ad set to $50, which is just not ideal. So I'd say like lowest cost is like the second best thing that you can do. But if that still doesn't work, I would say from there, test different interest categories or audiences. Whatever interest or category you're targeting could be the problem. It could just be that at that time the ad space is all taken up, or maybe the algorithm is having issues placing your ad, something along those lines. So you can just duplicate it, make a new campaign, switch out the interest. You can try, an ad set with no interest. And usually by this point, if your campaign is still not spending, especially if you did a no interest ad set and it's not spending, then the issue is not the bid, the issue is not the interest. I would say that at this point, it's a fair bet to just move on from the product. I don't want to spend too much time going crazy on why this isn't spending and testing all these different things when I could just move on to a different product and just move on with my life. And maybe you can test out that product down the line after you know that your ads are starting to spend. But there is one more thing that you can do that I've actually used to successfully get my ads to spend. I think that this has probably worked the least out of any other option on here, but essentially what it is to just test a new creative. Like I said earlier, this is kind of what led me to think, and speculate about the shadow banning, is because some creatives just won't spend. It doesn't matter what the bid is, lowest cost, it doesn't matter what your interests are. I mean, you can do no interest, you can do with interest, you can do whatever you want, and it just won't spend for whatever reason. Most of the time when this happens, it will spend. It'll just spend like a very tiny amount of the budget. So for example, if your budget was $20 per day, it'll spend like $1.23, or it'll spend like $2.17, something along those lines. And this is very, very annoying, but sometimes if you're having those issues, the best thing to do is just to create a new creative and relaunch the test. This has worked a couple times, but like I said, usually by this point, I'd probably just recommend you to just move on to a different product, simply because you've already done so many things to try to save this product and get it to spend that is probably not worth the time. Now, there are a couple things that I personally haven't tried yet that I do plan on trying, like switching out the pixel. That's something that could help if the issue was the pixel, and if the issue was like inside of the algorithm, that could definitely help. Switching out the ad copy, like usually I'll just switch out the entire video, but maybe swapping the ad copy could help as well. So there's a few things that you can do if you're running into these issues and like you absolutely have to run the product for whatever reason. I'd say just keep on testing new things until you get something to spend. I guess it doesn't matter what it is, but up to this point, I haven't seen the ad account itself be an issue, so that's a good thing. So you're not going to be like swapping ad accounts every product. I think that's a little ridiculous. A lot of these things could be the issue, like the manual bidding, the lowest cost. Your interest could definitely have, algorithm issues or optimization issues, or maybe the bid is just super duper high and there's no ad space. And of course, your creative could just be one that doesn't like spending. So, do these things. If you're still having issues, I would recommend just moving on from the product. But of course, if you want to spend more time and if you really believe in the product, or maybe you own a brand and you only have one product, then I would just keep on testing new things. I don't really think it matters what you're testing, but eventually you will get it to spend. It's just a matter of like how much time and effort are you willing to put into it to get it to spend. So that's it for this video. I hope that it was easy to understand, and if you do run into issues with spending eventually, I hope that you do use this video to actually help you and it helps you get over those hurdles. Like I said before, if you want to skip all this bullshit and have us manage it for you, because like I said, we're experienced with these sort of things, we deal with them all the time, and we usually jump over the hurdles fairly fastly. So if you want us to handle these for you, schedule a call with one of my team members below and we can talk about getting you into the done for you new TikTok product testing agency. I hope this video helps you out. If it did, leave a like. If you have any feedback or any things that you've tried that have worked really, really well, feel free to join the discussion in the comment section below, because it'll not only help me, but it'll also help the other viewers. So that's it for this video. This is Noah Brewer, and I'm out. Peace.